Today we are going to start learning how to use the pen tool. Now, the pen tool can be incredibly frustrating in the beginning, so you just have to stay patient with yourself, all right? It's a very difficult tool to learn, but once you've learned it, you'll love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and figure out how this works. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select that pen tool. Then you have to make sure you have a stroke, okay? And I would say just for the sake of today, let's not have a fill. So make sure that your color picker area looks like this. So no fill and a black stroke. Okay, to get started, we're just going to practice drawing a few different types of lines that I want you to practice as well. Okay, so you can either go along with me or you can do this afterwards. But this is exactly what I'm going to want you to turn in. Okay, so to draw a straight line, all you do is click once, and then I'm going to go all the way to the other side, and I'm going to press the shift key down, and I'm going to click again. There's no clicking and dragging. It was a single click and a single click, and that was it. Now, something about the pen tool, there's a lot of shortcuts you're going to be using while you get once you get started with it. So let's start learning those now. So one thing about it is it will, if you press the command key, it will go back to whatever was the last arrow key you had. So for example, my last arrow key was the white arrow. I go back to the pen tool. Now when I press command, it goes to the white arrow. If I go back to the black arrow and go back to the pen tool, I press command, now it goes to the black arrow. So you have to make sure you set that up. Okay, so make sure whatever arrow you want to have easy access to, you set that up. The other thing that you're going to find later is when you press the option key, it will give you the convert anchor point tool. Now we're not going to go over this today, but you will need to know how to use that eventually, okay? So just know that command changes back to the arrow. It allows you to select off of what you're doing. And then option will give you that convert anchor point. Okay, back to the pen tool. So we have our straight line. The next one that we're going to do is we are going to make just click, click, and we're just going to practice drawing straight lines without clicking and dragging, which for whatever reason is harder than it sounds. Okay, so that's your second line that I want you to draw. To click away from this, I'm simply going to press command and click away from it. I'm still on the pen tool. Now we're going to start getting into curves. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit confusing. To start, I'm going to click one time. I'm not dragging anything. I'm just going to click one time. And then I'm going to go up and to the right just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and I'm going to drag straight to the right. And I'm actually going to press the shift key in order to keep that handle, because that's what that's called right there. That's a handle. I'm going to keep that straight and horizontal. Okay, so I'm going to click that out about there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right below where that handle is. And I'm just going to click one time. And that's going to be my first curve. Okay, and then I'm going to go down and to the right a little bit. And down here, I'm going to click, and I'm going to, again, hold the shift key so I get a straight handle, and I'm going to drag that out. And then I'm going to go up and to the right a little bit. I'm going to line that up with my this is like my center line, okay? All the points that go here I'm not going to drag them. Only down here and up here, okay? So again, my next one is going to go right about here. Click, one click, and then I'm going to go straight up and to the right a little bit. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag that out, pressing shift. And then I'm going to come down, maybe out just a little further, one click. And then I'm going to go down again and to the right. And here I'm going to click. I'm holding the shift key again in order to keep that handlebar perfectly horizontal. I'm going to go up, again to the right. This is where I do just a single click. Excuse me. And then I'm going to go again up and to the right, holding my shift key. And you're going to basically keep doing this until you get all the way across the paper. Okay? Okay, so that is your third line that I want you to practice drawing. So it's just going to be like that. Okay, pressing command to click away. The next one I'm going to have you do, slightly different, but I'm going to have you create kind of a wave. Okay, so to do this one, first things first, one single click. Then I'm going to go up and to the right, kind of a decent amount, and I'm going to click to the right. Okay, I'm pressing my shift key down to get my handlebars nice and straight. Okay, now here's where I'm going to do something different. Now these handles, this is the way it works. This back handle from here to here controls this curve. Okay, now I always call that my past handle. It's the curve that's already been drawn. This next one is my future handle. Wherever I go, my next curve is going to, so if I were to click up here, my curve would go like this. It's basically reaching for that handle. If I were to go down here, the curve would reach for that. Okay, so let's just try it for a second. So if I were to go here, see how that goes this way? If I were to, excuse me, go down here, it would go like that. Now, what if I don't want that to be a curve? And what I actually want is I want it to be a sharp point. Okay, so what I can do is, so here's my handle still. So let's say I don't want a curve. That means I don't need this handle right here. So to get rid of that, I just go back to that point. And do you see how it has like a convert anchor point kind of symbol next to the pen tool? If I click on that, it will remove that handle. And here's what it'll do, is it'll basically make it so the next curve is not a curve, but actually a sharp point. Okay? So again, here's my past handle. It's controlling this curve here. Here's my future handle. It will control my next point. So if I draw one up here, it should go this way, right? So if I do that, see how that goes? I'm going to drag that out there. You can draw it as far out as you would like to. Now on this one, what I need to do is I have to get rid of this. So again, how do I get rid of it? I click right there in the center and it'll take it away. All right, and at this point, you can just keep on playing with it. Oops, I don't like that one too much. Let's go further out. There we go. Okay, click there. Okay, so go ahead and create your waves. This is what I want from you to turn in. I want you to have one straight line. I want you to have this jaggedy line. I want you to have this curved line, and I want you to have these waves, and this will complete Pen Tool 1. There's a lot more to learn, so just start there. Do not get frustrated. Start over if you need to, but try to understand get the starting of an understanding of how the pen tool works.